Interviews are probably the scariest part for anybody that wants to do medicine. Often when I meet students, they talk about how they're not as concerned about the grades or about as concerned with the experience, but they're really terrified of the interview. And interviews can be quite scary. However, interviews are always changing. The general advice for an interview is to be honest, because these people are professionals and they see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So they can very easily tell if you're lying or if you're making something up, and that obviously will look really bad. So number one is be honest. Number two is prepare. It's difficult to feel really pressured if you have already prepared for a lot of things. So if you're regularly reading the news or observing the sort of research market in terms of what's going on, maybe on BBC Health or something, or you're reading journals or articles, things like that will really help your confidence. And the main thing is understand your own baseline reasons. So why do you actually want to do medicine? Why do you actually want to come to this university? How will you cope with things like if somebody is passing away, or if somebody is really unwell, or if a family member is really angry with you? Depending on your temperament, how would you normally deal with that? And give those answers honestly in an interview. However, interviewers are really friendly most of the time, and they can obviously give you time if you need it. Now, this isn't anything official, this is just something I've come up with, and over the years my students have told me that it's been really helpful for them. So if I ever got stuck on an answer, I used to think, well, there's three real departments that you can put your experiences or words into. One is the clinical aspect. So the clinical aspect is the things that you are actually going to be doing as a doctor or a medical student. So that involves the skills, the talking, the practicality of doing something. Then the second area is academia. So academia is your ability to do well in studies, your ability to research, to take in information, and generally showing that you're quite intelligent. And the third department is the personal aspect, which is your own experiences, your own background. So for example, if you struggle to answer a question, or you're drawing a blank, or you're panicking, just say something that might be relevant clinically and show that you have that particular personality trait, that you can deal with a particular situation, such as a stressful family member or dealing with somebody that's really angry. Then you might want to talk about how you've developed that skill because of your personal life. So maybe you were captain of a football team, maybe you work part-time in TK Maxx and you've dealt with stress before, so you know you can do that. And then you might want to further build on that by saying, and I was doing my exams, and one of my parents was really unwell, and I was still able to study and do really well. So you've covered the initial topic of stress, dealing with a stressful situation, but you've applied it in all three aspects. The reason this is very helpful is if you do find yourself stuck, it gives you a framework to work on. So even if you draw a complete blank, you can just use the base of the question to formulate your answer. And people tell me it tends to work very well.